Great, thank you.
One more avenue is for them to create processes which are transparent and obviously fair, so that anybody in any part of the company should be able to come up with an idea, and that should be given due consideration regardless of whether that person has a corporate sugar daddy, right? So it should be a very fair process.
So one thing, 30 seconds. One thing we have tried at Google, soon in the we created this. A lot of people have ideas. Ideas come from all the places, but then people need time and resources to carry that further. So we created this concept called 20% time. So every engineer is given 20% of his time under his control. So 1 day a week or 4 days a month, he can spend that time on whatever he wants. So that the normal pressures of deliveries and schedules and all that from managers, the 20% time is completely protected from that. So that allows for a lot of new ideas to be developed.
Right. I mean, Google is famous for that, and earlier 3M was a company known for that kind of attitude as well. But I just wonder, I mean, if General Motors did that for its employees, do you think we'd get anything more innovative coming out of them? I mean, there are many other things that have to be in place, right, for that to be able to work. I mean, it's just one aspect of the innovation culture, isn't it? Absolutely. Okay. I have a question for Arun Sharma here from Vasudevan, IIT Kanpur, 1986. In India, we hear good innovative ideas in rural areas, but some of them never come out in a commercial way. For example, the famous coconut tree climbing machine. And the question is, what is needed to take these ideas to fruition?
I think some of the ideas that, like you mentioned, it has to succeed either in a market way or there has to be some real value for the people who are going to use it. So some of these ideas, a lot of them sound very nice, but a lot of them would not be a market success. So what's needed, there are programs like ours, there are also other programs based in the north of India, which try and provide inputs to the people who would take them forward. Things like help with patenting, things like funding, things like mentoring. But if you're trying to, it's a difficult thing. You're asking, how do you build a business around a product? You have to establish the need for the product, and you need the right person to drive the business forward. It's a difficult thing, but the one thing I would just say is that not all products which are designed for rural people make economic sense.
Okay. Anybody want to add to that? No? All right. Where is Prasad Ram? Okay, now we want to ask a question that's too long to write, but it has to be completed in 60 seconds or less. I realize Google is a major sponsor, but still, 60 seconds or less.
This will be done in less than 30 seconds. So you kind of mentioned about this n equal to 1, r equal to g kind of a model. And at least the two examples that you cited of iPod and iGoogle, not related, I kind of almost see them as examples the other way around, which is iPod, for instance, kind of had completely vertically integrated. They ran their own retail stores, they ran their own iTunes site, they kind of built their own products, they built speakers for the products, they kind of, negotiated the music deal, sold them at 99 cents, and this is, to me, a classic case of R equal to 1. And when I see the India situation, or the innovation and how IITs can help, this kind of a situation where R equal to 1 seems to be the barrier, where if R equal to G is really the case that's happening, and I hope you're right, then I see a lot more promise for innovation from India, because we can leverage the rest of the G for building products.
It's a very interesting observation, because it's also how we interpret it, right? I mean, one way you can say that they are controlling they are creating the platform, but they do have a contractual structure, and they don't restrict any of the amateur artists to come and put their songs. It is an opportunity for innovating in music and getting the market open for you. And so that way, yes, what they are controlling is the platform. Okay, yes, they are vertically integrated with the experience, because they believe that the retail experience is very important. The n equal to 1. That's why they want to kind of integrate that part. But interestingly, you see the model is actually extending. Let me take an example in India, which is the ICICI and Prudential health insurance. health insurance, we coming from US, all of us know how difficult it is and how complex a problem it is. Because it still operates in the traditional Ford Model T, is we try to kind of accumulate all the data, and we try to kind of pull all the customers together and then try to derive some pattern out of all of us, and then come back and say that you have 3 policies and pick one from that, right? But interestingly, what ICICI and Prudential, what they did was they said, we will co-opt you and me as patients, okay, create a platform. So, the example I'm talking about is diabetes, okay? And diabetes, try insurance for diabetic patient anywhere in the world. No chance. US, no chance. Because why? We pull the risk and say that all of us are risky. But it's not. Subra and we are sitting here. Both of us are maybe same age. Okay, we have high blood sugar. But Subra takes care of himself. He stays away from the, laddus and gulab jamuns, right? I get tempted. Same age, right? But the traditional way of looking together, it doesn't. But today's technology allows us to separate the two. But in order to do this, ICICI cannot own everything. Look at how do they deliver this. They partner with a network of doctors. They partner with a network of gyms. Okay? They partner with a network of labs that they test. And it is an opportunity for all these labs to kind of now have, access to these patients who can go to the local labs. But then they create again the control, the platform. Now what do? You actually create the transparency and you de-risk it. So it's no longer based on actuarial data, it is based on actual data. And it has now created opportunities for the doctors, it has created opportunities for the labs, for gyms, all these places for a common purpose, that is improving our health. And finally, they have a network that actually connects us patients so that we can get together. So that's an interesting kind of, R equal to G perfectly. You can ask the question, does ICICI own all these things? No. Does Apple own the memory chips companies? No. But they do contract, they do put contract, you have to have a structure in place. Otherwise this R equal to G could go out of control. So what we call the nodal companies will actually orchestrate this experience and give opportunities for the big and small players. So that's where we are coming from. And we see this in multiple industries, more in the IT sectors because it's much more explicit. And we are also seeing it in pharmaceutical, in tires. Actually, I can talk to you more around that. Okay? So sticking with the 60 seconds. Okay.